Hello again, this is Randy, your Sewing Machine Man. What we're looking at today is a Kenmore number 2, the Deuce. It's a 385 decimal point 1011180. So it's 385 decimal 10 11 180, and it's just like its big brother, the 158 series, in that it has steel gears, modular motor with replaceable motor brushes. It has the dual belt system, which is what I like, with the idler in the middle that needs to be kept oiled. It's got the clutch release on the side. It only has 2 stitches instead of 20 or 15 or 10 or 12. It has 2. This is the entry level. Self-adjusting tension on 4. It does not have the button on top for adjusting your pressure. So they cut back, made it inexpensive, but it's a nice little machine. This one came in because it wouldn't feed the fabric. And wouldn't feed the fabric because it had been sitting forever. And the daggone feeders had just got, they got stuck. I'll run through this real quick here and see if I can get these things to work and give you an idea. This one won't feed because the feeders won't drop down. So they're in the up position. But when the needle gets to the fabric, they should be down, like here. So they're stuck up. See, I can force them down, but they're still. When they come around, they come up and they stay up because they don't want to go back down, which means that area has not been lubricated in such a long time that it's not making contact here with the feed drive. See, the feed drive will bump it up on that cam, but that follower should be down on that lobe at all times. It should be down on it in order to make the feeders go through their motion. So what you do is you put spray loose on this, you get your penetrating oil, and you put it here, and here, and over here, and then you work it. And working it is the fun part, because this has to go up and down. It can't go up and stay up like that. You have to hold it down and let it go through that. And I'll get you started here so you know what's going on. But I'll hold this down until it stops knocking, and that spring will hold it down against it, and then it'll feed properly. I'll come back after I do it because I can't let this thing just run for 10 minutes with maybe how long I have to do it. Yeah, and sometimes you can get it to go for 10 minutes, and that's an awesome thing. And sometimes it takes longer than 10 minutes. Let's do this for a better illustration of what's going on here. And just for clarity, here's how you know when you have a problem. My customer says it won't feed, but here's what's going on. So when the needle gets to this point, the feeders should be down below the surface because they're dropped down and they go underneath and they come back up. At this point, they should be rising as the needle comes out. But you see, they're not dropping down. They're just going front to back, front to back. When you see that, you know that you need to get under here and do some lubrication right here. So this will go up and then go back down. It's got to be, the spring has to drive this cam. So we'll get back to it after we get it going and show you the finished product in a moment. Yeah, and I think I added another place just for clarity so you'll know all the good places to oil. Let me get this thing to cooperate here. That area back here, and on the other side where it pivots also. Because you can see, I'll push this down so you can see the movement in the back there. That's also where it needs to be happening. In the back, that needs to go up and down. Back there, all that has to be lubricated. So it goes up and down. With the spring, it stays contact with this cam. And then, after you oil the top and oil in the back, and then you work it for a long time. And I think if you got the right one. And then suddenly what will happen, it won't be suddenly, it'll be after 10 minutes of running this thing with my finger on it. Get the knock out of it, get it to smooth out. It'll start cooperating, and you'll notice up here when the feeders come up, when the needle gets in, they drop down, they come up, That's the motion that you have to see on any machine. When the needle's in, the feeders are down. When the needle's out, the feeders are up. And it has to do that. And now it's going to work like it was designed. And people get excited, get ahead of themselves, take this screw out, take this apart. I get them all the time where people are taking this apart. They think there wasn't enough pressure on the spring. Trust me, there was. Kenmore did it exactly right. And all you need to do is oil this, or actually put penetrating oil on all the moving parts. Hold your finger on there, run it, and be patient. That's the only thing that can't be taught in repair is patience. It's acquired by doing. Be patient. Oil it, run it. 10 minutes, put some music on, maybe a YouTube video of, something, who knows. 10 minutes later, it's working like a charm. To be continued. Well, turned out it was a little more than 10 minutes, but the end result was a real nice machine that sells like brand new. Does a straight stick, does a zigzag, does a back stick, everything works like it's supposed to. A nice little machine. I would recommend if you can get one of these, if it's been sitting for a long time, it's going to need to be lubricated, but I show in all my videos the key places to be lubricated. You can't miss one. You got to get them all. If it's hinged, okay, if it's rotating inside a bearing, or if it's going up and down inside of a bushing, whatever's going on, when you see movement, give it some penetrating oil, give it some oil, and be patient, work it, and you'll come up with a nice machine when you're done. This is the 385. It's the little brother, little sister, whatever you want, of the 158, but the 385, 1011, 180. The number 2, the Deuce. Nice little machine. Thanks.